Hi, hello there, welcome to my channel, Mesa's Life, where in today's video, I'm gonna go over my week one spending from my June 2026 budget. So, if you are interested, then please stick around, please like and subscribe, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So, here in the upper left-hand corner, I have my net income, so what I bring home. I have my 9 to 5 job where I get paid once a month, and I'm an HR analyst and I've already been paid, but I also add back in what I contribute to my pension because I like to track those numbers because I would like to hopefully soon start contributing to my retirement, not just with my pension, but with my savings. Then my next line here I have is my job as a food stand, bar stand. I have asked to go back onto the bar. So far right now I've just been at like a food stand. And there I make $16.90 an hour, but I also make tips. So I get paid once a week. And for the last week I got paid $789.84 after taxes. Before taxes it was closer to $960, I believe. And I had budgeted to make $3,000 from this job, or take home $3,000 from this job. So out of the 3,000, I put 789.84 here, and then I put what's left here in red in the estimated pay. I already can see my paycheck that I will receive on Tuesday if the direct deposit goes through, and it should be about the exact same as I did last week, or this past week. So I think that I am still on track to make the $3,000 for this month. I get paid on Tuesdays, but right now we're just working out the hiccups because I just started, so I'm still receiving a check. This should be the first week that I'm receiving a direct deposit. If I don't receive a direct deposit and I receive a check, unfortunately I will be traveling for work on Tuesday, so they'll have to mail it to me, so I won't receive the check until Friday. But here it goes. This is my total net income, $8,290.99 after taxes. And again, that's from working 2 jobs. So I'm going to scroll down, and now I have my expenses category. And this is where I budget here on the left-hand side, that full $8,200 amount. And these are the different expenses that I like to break them down into. I do not have any kids, so I do not have things like childcare. I'm not actively in school, so I do not have a school fund, but I would put that in parking and / work because it would be furthering my education for work, that sort of thing. And however, we're going to go over week one. So week one includes from June 1st to June 7th. I know that some of the days were technically for a prior week, but I'm just going to combine them all for June 1st to June 7th. And today is June 7th. 7:50 a.m. filming this before work. So for my subscriptions, I didn't spend anything. For my personal and beauty fund, I spent $10 at Walmart. I needed a new summer hat, the one that I've had for about 4 years. It was old and grungy and greasy, and it was made out of paper, so you couldn't wash it. So I think I threw it away at the end of last season. So I just bought a new summer hat for $10. Parking and work, so I did have some work-related expenses, but I also received 3 different refunds for previous work trips and public transportation, because my job reimburses me for public transportation. So because of that, I was in the negative, which means I made money, of $91.14. I add the money that I get reimbursed back here on this line item instead of in my income section, simply because it helps me more accurately track what I spend for work. Because right now I'm spending close to $10 a week on public transportation, but that then gets reimbursed because of my job. And if I didn't take public transportation, I would need to drive and then park and pay to park downtown, and that is just because of work. So I also like to track my parking in this category as well. If you see amounts later on, those are just reoccurring automatic payments. but I'll talk more about those during those weeks. Alright, my renters and car insurance came out. It was $153.31. I do not get any sort of discount for paying the 6 months in advance, so I just pay it month by month. Alright, for utilities, I paid $191.87 to my apartment. For my electricity bill, I spent only $69.13. I thought it would be more than that, but it was not, so I'm going to go ahead and update my budget so I don't have to spend anything else for electricity for the rest of the month. So updating that down from $100 to $70, that'll save me $30, which will be useful later on. Alright, and the reason why I didn't adjust my personal beauty or my parking work fund down is because I may still spend some amounts later on. I don't think I'll spend $330 for parking for the rest of this month, but I'm just going to keep it as is since I know I will be spending it, unless I need the money elsewhere. Alright, then my next expense category is my phone bill. It's $72.66. That's for my phone, but then also to pay off the contract because I bought a new phone last October. Alright, fun. I did not spend anything. I do plan on going paddleboarding this upcoming weekend on the 13th on Saturday, and I have to pay for parking. So I might include that here. I might include in the parking category. Don't know what else, but who knows. I also looking at life jackets, and those are pricey. Those are about $50. But yeah, nothing spent this past week. For household, I spent $233.95, so I went over budget, and I went over budget because I had a house cleaner, but then also I needed new sheets. My cats kind of destroyed my old ones, so I needed new sheets, and then I needed to then wash some of my clothes because I had clothes in like a plastic bin that they decided to use as a litter box. So I'm going to see if I can get that out with the vinegar and then with the cat solution. If not, I have to throw away those clothes. And I also spent money because I have to pay to use the laundry machine. I do not have in-unit laundry. So because of that, I'm going to increase this expense by $45 because I'm over about $33, and then another $15 to use the laundry machine. So I'm actually going to increase it by $250. So that should cover me using the laundry machine. So I like to put in $15 at a time on my account. And I still have more laundry to do. So I'm doing laundry right now actually, but I still have more to do. But that'll be after I get home from work. Alright. Electronics and Wi-Fi, we're going to skip that. Gas, I spent $64.79 on 12 gallons of gas. Gifts, I did not spend anything. I have one of my best friend's birthday was this past Monday, but we're going to celebrate it on this upcoming Monday. And we're just going to go out to eat and drink. I'm not going to get a gift, but I might include it in that category, or I might include it in my food out category. But my other best friend, the one that I typically spend my Christmas and Thanksgivings with, she is having her rainbow baby after, 10 years of trying? So, I'm getting her a nice little baby shower gift. I'll probably get a few without that amount, but baby shower's not until July, so I'm just putting $100 here in case I see a good deal on some things, then I'll pick it up when I see it. Alright, food out. I did not eat out this past week. That is because I can eat for free at work. Alright, tithing. I have not tithed. Today's Sunday, I'll probably tithe today or tomorrow. I have not looked into what I want to send my money off to for this month. I'll probably just send it directly to the church, but I kind of like putting it towards something specific. But we will see. You'll see that in my week 2 budget, it'll be doubled, so it'll be $90 once I figure out something for this month's theme. Last month's theme, it was for specifically helping to facilitate Bible study groups, and I like that. But if I can't figure out anything, I'll just put it to the church and say you spend it where you see fit. Alright, applied to debt. So I sent $629.21 in the monthly minimum payments. I spent another $619.88 in my snowball, which are the 3 minimum payments from the debts that I've already paid off this year. And then I subtracted $59.12 because that's what I paid in interest, which I'll talk about in a second. So for this week, I spent $1,189.99 on direct debt to principal out of the $3,020 that I plan to send for this month. Alright, savings, per someone's advice in the comments, I'm going to start paying myself first. So I already sent my $200 to my high yield savings account. Yes, that is where it is for right now. I set up reoccurring payments, so starting next month, it'll just automatically go to my high yield savings account. But moving down to car maintenance. So I had a few things done with my car. I had the engine air filter, I had the transmission fluid exchange, and then I did not get an oil change simply because in the past 6 months I've only driven 2,000 miles. So I'll probably get an oil change next month, but I won't be near 3,000 miles. But just because I want to avoid driving with old oil as well, I'll do it. And then I need to get my car registration renewed. I will do that next month. That's about $300. So with my oil change, that's about $100, and with my registration, that's also about $300. So I'll spend about $400. So I'll spend $400 this month and then $400 next month on my car. But that's perfectly fine. I needed to get that transmission fluid exchange done because it had been long overdue. I was supposed to get it at 60,000 miles, and instead I got it at 73,000 miles. And then my engine air filter was just almost black, so that was definitely needed. So now let's move on. After I adjusted my car maintenance budget down, we're going to move on. I did not travel at all. I would like to, but cannot afford to for quite a while. For cats, I spent $149.46. That was on the pet insurance. I needed to buy, or I need to now start buying more expensive cat food because my older cat has protein in her urine. And then treats and litter all came to $149.46. I don't think I'll need to spend any more for the rest of this month, so I'm not going to adjust any numbers here. Alright, for groceries, I went to Winco because in the past they had car registration renewal machines there, and I went to go renew my car registration and they moved them, so now car registration is now only at Safeway. But while I was in Winco, I decided to go shopping and buy a whole bunch of food that I did not need to buy. So just like snacks, and I bought sushi for the next day because I did not work on Monday, things like that. So, yeah, I just went a little bit over budget. And then yesterday when I was out at Walmart buying new sheets and then vinegar and all that for my cats, or because of my cats, I bought some fruit and I bought a thing of cookies. That's the only thing my work does not sell. They do not sell fruit, cookies, and that's it. So that's pretty much what I need to buy from the grocery store. Alright, moving down to health. I spent $137.61. That was to renew my gym membership, which I'm still going, so I still love it. Rent, I paid $1,431 in rent. Retirement, we've already talked about. This is the $538.33 that I sent to my pension. cash, I did not spend or I did not take out anything for cash. Interest, like we already discussed, I sent $59.12 to interest, which was out of my minimum payments for my auto loan, my student loans, and one of my credit cards. And then lastly, my financial category, I have not paid the termination fee for one of my financial advisors yet, so I do not know the account number. So I had to call them up, and they're going to mail me my account number, and once I have the account number, then I can close my account over the phone. And I'll have to pay the termination fee. Other than that, that is it for my week 1 spending. I have $85 still left to distribute amongst my budget, but I'm just going to leave that there just in case I don't make the full $3,000 for my job. I think that I will, but I have all next week off because there's nothing happening, there's no games or anything, so just in case, I'm going to leave that $85 there just as a little buffer. But other than that, that is it. That's the breakdown of my week 1 spending. Thank you for following along. If you stay to the end of the video, I'd love to have you join me on my financial journey. So please hit the subscribe, click the like, and leave a comment down below if you would like. My next video will be out either tomorrow or the next day, and it'll be my month 34, I believe, debt confessions update. So please stick around, but other than that, until then, thank you, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.